Hello everyone, welcome to Naomi's Bookshelf. Today we are going to do TBR Clue for August. I'm so sorry if you can hear the AC in the background, but it is like 37, which is like over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, so I'm not going to turn off the AC. It's too hot and I'm so sorry. I hope it's not too loud. Anyways, we're here to do TBR Clue. So TBR Clue is where I take the classic TBR, or not classic TBR, the classic clue board game and tweak it to give me books to read. Now, in typical form, we will be going over the books I have read in the last month to reveal the cards, so I can do my process of elimination. I will link the playlist with all the rules if you're wanting to know how they all work. So for the first one, which is The Hallway, I had to read a book that was a novella, and I read Lady Susan by Jane Austen. For The Lounge, I had to read a book that was like Mrs. Peacock, and I read Enola Holmes in the Case of the Cryptic Crinoline by Nancy Springer. In the dining room, I had to read a book that was by an auto-buy author, and I read A Caribbean Mystery by Agatha Christie. In the kitchen, I had to read a book that was diverse, and I read The Wrong Mr. Darcy, which was Prime Prince retelling. I can't remember the author name anyways. For the ballroom, I had to read a book that was about a certain country, and I twisted that to be Enola Holmes in the Case of the Gypsy Goodbye, because it's about the Romani people who basically don't have a country, so that's how I twisted that. In the conservatory, I had to read a book that was the most recent haul, and I happened to read this one, which was a very recent haul, and this is a picture book of Emma. In the billiard room, I had to read a book that had an animal in the title, so I read Volpone or the Fox by Ben Jonson. In the library, I had to read a cozy mystery, and I read In Lake Flynn by Rhys Bowen. And in the study, I had to read a book like Miss Scarlet, and I read Anne of Ingleside by Ella Montgomery. So my official guess for this is Mrs. Peacock in the dining room with the revolver. Let's see how it goes. So here we go, revolver, dining room. I don't even know how the last one is, but there you go, Mrs. Peacock. All right. So no punishment, and we are going to now do our author jar pull. Yay me for remembering. And we are going to next move on to, after that, the board. So here's my author jar. I have many authors in here that I've already read, so that's a good thing. I might be pulling out multiple ones going forward. I don't know, we'll see. And there are several that I need to or really want to put on this TBR for this month. So hopefully I get some of those, but I don't know, we'll see. So the first one I get is Graham Greene. Can't remember what he wrote. I'll go get it. Then this one is Howard Pyle, and that one is Robin Hood. I'll go grab these two and we'll be right back. So neither of these two are the ones I wanted, but that's okay. So this one is by Graham Greene. It's called Travels with My Aunt. And this one says Henry Pulling, a retired bank manager, meets his very big word, Aunt Augusta, for the first time in over 50 years at his mother's funeral. Soon after, she persuades Henry to abandon Southwood, his dahlias, and the major next door to travel to Brighton, Paris, Istanbul, Paraguay. Accompanying his aunt, Henry joins the shiftless Twilight City or society, mixing with hippies, war criminals, CIA men, smoking pot, breaking all of the currency regulations, and eventually coming alive after a dull suburban lifetime. So Travels with My Aunt. And then I also have The Merry Adventures of Robin Hood. Now this one, these are always like, look bigger or smaller than they are, but this one has like in verse, this is about 300 pages and the end pages. So basically this is just Robin Hood from all I know, and I will be adding these to my pile already. I have a big pile going and I haven't even started yet. So let's play the game. So as usual, I will be reading the next Enola Holmes books, which are the Enola Holmes and the Boy in the Buttons. I want to say that's the novella that we'll be reading, Chris and I. So that one is like a very short 21-page novella. And I will be reading that one with them. And we will be also reading after that Enola Holmes and the Case of the Black Barouche. I'll just quickly check. Called And the Black Barouche. So this is the one we'll be reading. That's the last one that's been published up until this point. So that's exciting. We'll be able to be up to date with a series, and it's been fun to buddy read the whole thing with Chris. So we will be reading that one. All right. And then for other buddy reads, I will also be continuing on with the Joe Nesbo series, which I am reading with Nikki and Berna. I will link everyone's channels down below who I'm mentioning. I'm not doing any readathons this month except for Fastathon, which I have already linked or posted to TBR. So I will link that for you in case you want to check out my exact books for that. So I'm not doing any other TBRs or like readathons because I don't want to stress out. So I'll be reading my next book though in the Joe Nesbo series, which is The Snowman, and that's in my pile of books to read as well, which is this one. So I have to read this one as a buddy read too. I read it before. This is what actually introduced me to the whole world of this character, Harry Hole, and I thoroughly flew through it. I remember reading it at Christmas and it was just so gory and so intense, but I could not put it down. So I'm excited to read this again. And those are my only like 2 buddy reads really. I do have, of course, the Kate Hell book club, which I always forget to mention, but we'll be reading, let me move the pile around, Josephine Tey's The Franchise Affair, I believe. That's the one I own. I think that's the one we're actually reading. And then I also will be doing, of course, the Narnia read along still. So we have The Horse and His Boy, which is my favorite book in the series, and also The Magician's Nephew. So those will be the next 2 on that list. Everything else I'll cover later because hopefully we can fit those into prompts, because I would really love it if it wasn't like too much more, because I already have, I think, 9 books on this TBR. Let's go on to board gameplay. Prompt 1 is a buddy read. So for the haul, we got the prompt of buddy read. I can't find my paper right now. It's okay. Anyways, it was a buddy read, and for that, I'll be reading Enola and the Boy in Buttons. That one is by Nancy Springer, and I'm reading it with Chris, like I mentioned before. Prompt number 2 is animal on the cover. For the prompt of an animal on the cover, there we go. I'm going to go with my other buddy read, which is Enola Holmes and the Black Barouche. There is a horse right there, so you can see that one. I don't know anything about these Enola Holmes books. I'm just happy to read them, so there we go. Prompt number 3 is related to the library. The next one was to read a book that was relating to the library, and for that one, I'm going to be trying to do The Merry Adventures of Robin Hood, as I feel like legends and lore would be very prominent in the library, especially retellings of this. So that's going for the library prompt. Prompt number 4 is an ebook vet. Then we got the next one, which was an ebook vet. I'm gonna go with one of my old ARCs, which is Black Midnight. Can't remember who this is by, but this one's kind of like Jack the Ripper moved to Texas, and these are all based on true crime events, and it is an interesting series, so I'm excited to add that one. It's a very old ARC that I need to read, and I have it as an ebook. Prompt number 5, redraw. After that, we got the dreaded redraw the board. So officially all these prompts are now longer. They're now considered void, and we have the rest of the prompts to redo again. Prompt number 1 again. Random author letter. So for the new prompts, for the haul, we got a random author letter. And I thought this could go really badly. However, when I did my random letter thing, literally, I did not redo this. I did not rig it. The letter came up as P. And I am reading Howard Pyle's book, which is Robin Hood. So I was like, perfect. I already have this one on my TBR. I'm excited to slide it back in there. So I'm excited to read it. And it's officially back on the TBR even after the redraw. Prompt number 2. Agatha Christie. The next one was to read an Agatha Christie, which honestly is the easiest prompt in the entire thing. But I will be putting in the one for Read Christie 2022, which is a book in a hot climate. The one that they are recommending as their group read or their buddy read or book club, whatever, is Destination Unknown, which I have never read. So I'm going to be putting this one in there. I don't know anything about this. This cover is like creepy as anything. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited to read Destination Unknown. It's an independent novel, which I always enjoy a lot, even more than the series ones actually. So yeah, this is going to be for Agatha Christie and for my Read Christie 2022 book, which is to read a book in a hot climate, which is their recommendation. Prompt number 3, Colonel Mustard or the color yellow. The next one is for Colonel Mustard or the color yellow. I'm not going with the color, like I try to avoid it, but I am going to go with the Colonel Mustard thing as he is in the war. And one of the books that is set during World War I is, I believe it's World War I, is Rilla of Ingleside. This one takes place during the war, and it's one of the few books that's Canadian war fiction. I believe it's World War I Canadian fiction, and one of the few ones. So I'm excited to pick this one up and finish off the series. This is the eighth final book of the Anne series, and it'll be nice to actually knock off this series. I've been working at it steadily throughout the year, and it'll be great to finish this. I'm reading this with the Analog series, hosted by Emily from Novelle Novels. So this is the final one, and it goes perfectly for Colonel Mustard. Prompt number 4 is an arc. For the next one, we got an arc. And for the arc, I'm going to go back to Black Midnight. I also plan on doing an arc vlog in August, as I'm hoping that I can knock out a bunch of my October arcs, because I realized I have a bunch of them and I would like to not get behind on those. So I will probably be reading Black Midnight. I will probably just do an arc vlog like I did in, was it June? I don't remember the month, but yes, an arc vlog, and Black Midnight will probably be on there, along with many of my upcoming arcs, which all come out in October. I think the ones will be that I think the ones that I'm picking will be on in that video. I'm sorry. Moving on. Prompt number 5 is a mood read. The next room got us mood read, and mood read, I'm not going to declare anything because it's a mood read. I don't know what I'm going to want to pick up, but I'm sure I'm going to want to be picking up like Enola Holmes for my buddy read, because that is something I want to be reading. I don't know what I want to read, but lately I've been in like a historical romance mood. I've been in a whole bunch. So I'm just going to read whatever I want and slide it in there. And I'm so happy I don't have to pick something now, and I'm glad I don't have to pick something ever for permanent reasons, but I'm very glad right now that I don't have to decide what I'm going to be in the mood for. Anyways, prompt number 6 is the candlestick. The next one is the candlestick. Now, the candlestick is an interesting one because I'm going to go with one that has some enlightening elements in it, which is The Horse and His Boy. In The Horse and His Boy, there's a boy who was abandoned as a baby, and his name is Shasta. I should know his name. He's one of my favorite characters. Well, not one of my favorite characters. There's so many favorite characters. But this is one of my favorite books in the series. This is my favorite book. And Shasta is abandoned as a baby, and a lot of his story comes to light in this book. So I'm going to use that with the candlestick as it's coming to light. But also, if you're wanting to be more particular, I have this one here, which I believe has the lantern on it. Maybe not on this cover. It should have the lantern on. One second. It's right there. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little lantern. So I'm going to be reading them in this edition. Anyways, reading them in this edition. I need to hurry up. Anyways, prompt number 7. Random letter title. Next one was random letter title. And I was like, what's with all the random? But then I got it and it came up as N. And I was like, okay. Because the other Narnia book I'm reading, which Narnia counts as an N, but is The Magician's Nephew. So there's an N there. I'm not playing it has to be the very first letter in the title. It just has to be in the title as one of the word starters. So Magician's Nephew is the 6th book we'll be reading for the read-along, which is hosted by Amy from A Star Reads and an autistic reader. I can't remember her name at the moment. I'm so sorry, but I'll link them both down below as well as everyone else. But yes, this is our next one. So I'll be putting both of these on the TBR again, which is really helpful. I love it. Prompt number 8. Historical fiction. For the next one, we got historical fiction. And for this one, I'm gonna be doing my Read Your Bookshelf Challenge one, as the prompt is to read something with a body part in the title. I'm gonna be putting in here The Diamond Eye by Kate Quinn. Eye is the body part. I don't know anything about this. It's obviously cold setting. And I think that this one is, oh, what does it say? This is like, these are always set in like Nazi times or like World War I times. So I'm excited, but it's like Kate Quinn. I'm gonna love it. And I'm pretty sure my book club said, or people from my book club said that they were really enjoying this one. So gonna put that one in there. Prompt number 9. A timeless tome. The last room we got was a timeless tome, which normally right now, I don't know, this year's been off with me with those, but I am so happy I can fit this in to my TBR, which is The Count of Monte Cristo. So one of my rules is that I can put books in as long as it's not like 50 pages left. But even then, I'm like, I've been reading the book. I want it to count for something. And honestly, this mammoth of a book, we've been reading for 2 months already. And I have 200 pages left, but I'm gonna count it because it's been a journey that I've loved and enjoyed, but I'm counting it for a timeless tome. So there we go. That one is really good. And I feel like this TBR was way too nice to me because everything that I wanted basically got in, except for like 1 or 2, but those were all books I already wanted to read. So I don't know what happened here. So these, that's not quite right. So these plus an arc, which is going to be the Black Midnight, hypothetically for now, will be my entire TBR for TBR Clue, which aside from my mood read, which I will be easily swapping in there. And that is amazing because all these books were books I wanted to read in this month, literally. And I had committed to reading or planned on reading, so that's exciting. And even if I don't finish like The Diamond Eye for historical fiction, I have this much historical fiction. So I'm very excited for all of those things. Let's just quickly go over the other ones though. I plan on reading another Agatha Christie this month, which is called The Pale Horse. This one is an Ariadne Oliver one, and I don't think that there's anyone else in here. So I just think it's just Ariadne Oliver. I have never read this one, and I'm excited to get to it. Then for the booked cover book club, which is to read a book with someone falling on the cover, I scoured my shelves, literally scoured my shelves. The only book I have that someone's falling on the cover is this one, which is kind of falling. It looks like they're about to fall. So I'm gonna go with that. This is called Booby Trapped. This is the number 6 in the Clue series. I have like them all now. I purchased them all online for like secondhand. And these are just like little stories about the Clue characters. So I'm gonna be reading this one since they are falling in a trap. And then of course we have my other TBR jar pull, so there's that one. And we have my buddy read of The Snowman. And then my book club with Kate Howe for this one. And then I can't remember my September book club book. I might need to check that quickly. So my in real life book club will be reading Precious Cargo by Craig Davidson. I have read that one before, but I will be rereading it because it's been a very long time. So there's that one, which is a nonfiction, but I also have plans on trying to get to this one. I don't know how much of it I'll actually read, but basically this is about books or stories that inspired like movies that are based on like murder mysteries or something. I don't know, I just saw it and it was curious to me and interesting. I also have it from the library, I think it's called The Forensics of Murder or something, The Science of Murder. This is an Agatha Christie basically analysis of how she wrote murder mystery scenes and how that actually is applicable and if it's actually accurate. So I have that out as well, and that's a nonfiction. So I have those, and I am excited to have those nonfictions on my TBR. I have a lot of my October arcs as nonfictions, so I'm excited for those two to be my palette cleanser, like I like to call them. So that's coming up, and hopefully my vlog for my arcs. Please let me know down below in the comments if you would like me to vlog with a bunch of nonfiction or fiction, or what kinds of books you'd like me to vlog with on my ARCs list, because I'm sure I can have something relating to that. If you let me know what kind of books you'd like me to talk about, I will happily work those in. Also, please let me know down below if you are reading any of these books or what you are reading. I have my Fossathon TBR, which is like the second half of the month. I don't know how much that's gonna go. But yes, this is my very kind TBR, and I don't feel too bad about it, honestly. It just is so, it looks so achievable, which might be lulling me into, I don't know, some false sense of security, but I am excited to get to these ones and, you know, read what I have been feeling like, and not having a giant, I don't know, giant readathon pushing me or driving me. Jane Austen July has been great, but it has been a bit of a push, and I am ready for something different. So this is my August TBR. Like I said, please let me know down below what you'd like me to show in my vlog, if you're reading any of these, what you think of any of them. Also, if you would like to like this video and subscribe and hit that notification bell if you would like, that would be awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, or joining me here today. Bye for now.